Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast Network. This is We Are Bagu Season 1, Episode 16, Summer Gaming News Catch-Up with Will Cennamo and Jay McClintock. That's right, we're going to sit down and talk about all that gaming news you have missed over the last couple months. If this is your first time checking out the podcast, thank you so much. Please go to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. We're at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at /We Are Podcast. With that said, on to the podcast.
We Are Bagu.
Hey everybody, welcome to We Are Bagu. This is Duck. I am here via Zoom meeting with
Ethan!
Dr. Ethan Eastwood. He's right there.
Yes,
and
sir.
ladies and gentlemen, we have two very special guests back again for the gaming roundup. We have Will Cennamo. Hey Will, how you doing?
Hey, everybody.
And we have Jay. It says Mick, but it's Jay McClintock. Hey Jay, how you doing today?
JNC.
Hey.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start talking about some gaming news that we've missed over the last couple months. Hopefully we'll hit each other with some interesting stories. And who wants to start?
I got a pretty big one I just noticed the other day.
Go for it.
The potential return of G4.
Yes, I was on my
Yes.
list too. Yes. G4.
2021. Basically, it started out in the early 2000s. I think it was called Fuse, I believe it was called, or something like that. It was a Canadian network, and then somehow it slowly became an all-gaming network called G4, and they would play other things on it. I think they played, like, Cheaters, and they played a few other, like, a lot of it was just original content. It's basically like the ESPN of video games.
Right, and the two big shows were X-Play and Attack of the Show. I watched X-Play a lot. Really, really like that show. Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb, is that correct?
Yes.
They were the hosts?
They're probably the front runners.
Yeah,
And
and
then, of
Morgan
course-
Webb, oh my God, so
And
hot.
it brought us Olivia Moon on the Attack of the Show.
Yes, she was on there, and I was never a big fan of Attack of the Show, but there were a lot of people who loved it and watched that religiously. I mean, it was MTV for gamers is what it was. And
Funny fact, the show Cheat that was on there was hosted by a girl named Kristen Holt. She went to high school with me.
nuh-uh,
At Plano Senior High.
no shit.
Damn.
Yeah, she was always gorgeous. And before that, she was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. But at least she acted like she knew the games. So,
Question, did you bang her?
no, God, no. I did not.
The best show on G4, two of the best shows, Will agree with me. The first one being G4 Icons, which is amazing. If you get a chance, go on the internet and just go on YouTube. All the episodes are up there. There are many documentaries about everything you've ever been interested in video game lore. The second one, Will, do you want to tell them what that show was called?
Code Monkeys.
Yeah, Code Monkeys was the best. And actually, I hope they bring it back. There's no reason not to. Like, I think that we should start a petition for Code Monkeys because it had 2 seasons. Go watch that shit. It still stands up because all the humor is based within 80s video game lore. None of it is like modern. It wasn't modern at the time either. So when they do jokes, they're doing jokes about Atari ET, or they're doing jokes about Reagan being almost assassinated and shit like that. So all this stuff is 80s, and it's hysterical. The only thing that might not hold up that he does is Big T. Larity, who is the boss of the gaming company there, because basically he's George W. Bush. So that's basically who the character is. It's a fucking wonderful show. What would you guys want to see? First of all, does anyone watch cable anymore? Isn't it all YouTube and on the internet?
I mean, I thought if they were going to do a comeback, it'd be something like they're going to try to be another IGN or something like that, a source for more gaming news and stuff like GameSpot,
Right.
something more like that.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone watches cable, but if you take that programming and then you create the G4 YouTube, I think that you have, or whatever they want to do with it, I think you have a chance of reaching a market. But at the same time, it's just name recognition at this point. But they do have those shows.
Did they say that it was going to be a cable channel, or they just say they're trying to bring back?
No, did they actually say that? They didn't say come on the cable.
I believe it is going to be coming back, but I might be wrong. They should just bring it back online, really. I actually tweeted at them and said, hey, can we get some fucking jobs? Because that'd be sweet. Tell me you want to go work for them. I'd go work for them. Right now, if you go to the website, though, there is a Pong game on there. And if you beat the Pong game, it says to put in your email, which you can't put in your email. It's fucking bullshit. No, I don't see where it says. You guys might be right. It might not be coming back to cable. Maybe it's going to be an internet thing. So
Yeah, I thought they
Regardless-
just said they were coming back. They
Yep.
just didn't say how or why or what they were going to do. It
Yeah.
was just G4.
when they shut it down, it made no sense to me anyhow, because it was
They didn't
like,
shut it down.
well, G4 itself, the channel became something else.
Esquire.
It became,
Esquire.
what did it become?
Esquire.
Esquire, yes. What is Esquire?
It's a magazine. It became basically the channel that was based on the magazine, like a very very masculine, man-centric channel.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I was like, give me my nerdy shit. Is there anything else to say about that?
The only other thing I'd say is that the one thing I think that shows a lot of promise for the channel in general is that when it was canceled, esports wasn't nearly that big a deal. And I think using it as a platform to showcase esports in an even bigger realm is probably where they're going to get a big chunk of their new viewers.
Oh, absolutely.
And
I think it's going to take them a lot to really get any sort of grasp on anything. Like Twitch is so far ahead of them as far as that sort of stuff. So I don't see why anyone would really need to go to a different website when they can get it all in the one spot.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, who knows.
There also more arenas are opening up in DFW. Hopefully by 2021, gaming arenas or whatever they call it. What is that thing that we went to?
Esports arena?
Yeah, they're opening up more. There's a company that's trying to branch out across the United States. So whenever you say that, like, gaming is a big thing, and I think that the esports are kind of coming in big. But, well, you're right. I mean, Twitch has everything that you need already. Probably
They
too
already
much.
killed Mixer.
Yeah. And what was it? Ninja and Shroud, they made out like fucking bandits, man.
Yeah, they took the
Holy
buyout.
shit.
They got like millions just for not doing anything anymore.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I go and stream for a few months and then just get paid? Sure. Okay. Why not?
All right, who's next?
I got a fun one. So the new Marvel Avengers game, which is coming out at the end of the month, the beta should be out shortly, and they just announced today that they will be adding Hawkeye shortly after launch, as well as 3 other unknown heroes. So I think that's pretty cool because Hawkeye would be real fun to play in that style.
What is the style of that game? I've only seen the trailer with the cinematics. Have they showed the actual gameplay footage?
Oh yeah,
They've
they've done
shown
a
some.
few. They call it the War Table. They've been doing one per month, and they show off a lot of stuff. It looks like a fancy version of Lego Marvel. Like the controls as far as moving the one character and you have a couple with you, but really you're taking care of just being the Hulk or just being Iron Man or whatever.
So it's
But
not
it
like
looks a lot
Marvel
fancier.
Alliance or anything like that?
There are team up moves and things like that, but as far as what they've shown, it seems like you pick one for that level and then you have a team with you. So they're opening up multiplayer so you and your squad can go in and handle levels together. There's going to be a lot of like daily challenge levels that they're adding and weekly challenge levels. So it looks like they're trying to do a bit of a story mode and then this overarching multiplayer kind of mode that will continue on past the story.
And that's a Square Enix game?
Yeah.
Damn, that's wild. You're excited? Is anyone else excited about this game?
Yeah. I'm a little worried with it being Square, but I mean, I don't know. They've done pretty good with some action games in the past. Hopefully they'll do Marvel some justice because the trailers look cool. The cinematic one was kind of but the gameplay looks badass.
Yeah.
It really does.
And when's that released?
September 4th.
And we have 3 more characters yet to be announced. Do we think Spider-Man is going to be in there? Spider-Man, the Menace.
That might be tough just because they might not have the rights to that one, but
Sony's kind of got Spidey by the nards.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure when it comes to the gaming, though, they
By
could
the
probably
red
do it
shoes.
because he appears in pretty much everything, doesn't he?
No, man, he's Sony exclusive, man.
Yep.
The PS3 font came from the Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man is Sony's golden boy. I don't see them letting him go.
Can we conjecture on who the other 3 would be other than Spider-Man then?
Who are the
I
ones
want
they have
She-Hulk.
already?
She-Hulk, you said?
That'd be
That's
cool.
what I want. Miss Marvel. She's kind of the main character that's gathering all this together. Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and I believe Black Widow are the only ones that have been shown.
Well,
Oh, and Captain America.
Yeah,
Captain America.
Captain America.
Yeah.
There's still no chance we're going to get movie likeness characters. These are still like Kmart
No,
rip-off
this- yeah.
versions, right? Yeah.
This has nothing to do with
Alternate
the movies.
universe.
Like,
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's real like I'm used to that version of those characters now. So when I see these ones, I'm just like, it's like when you play the first Spider-Man game. I'm going way back. Spider-Man the movie game for GameCube, and it did not look like Tobey Maguire, and the Green Goblin did not look like Willem Dafoe, but it looked like, which is really weird. Who played Gwen Stacy's father in The Amazing Spider-Man? Jay, who was it?
Dennis Leary?
Yeah, the Green Goblin from the original Spider-Man GameCube game looks like Dennis Leary. That was the weirdest shit ever. But yeah,
What year did that come out in, Jay?
What? Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man?
the movie or the
movie.
game?
The movie.
The one with Tobey Maguire?
Yes.
2002.
Nice.
Is he right? Yeah. Does he know the month?
Yeah, it came out in May. I saw it opening day.
Is he right?
Maybe like
Yeah.
May 2nd.
Jay strikes again. All right, Ethan, what you got?
Y'all ever heard of a little game called Superhot?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Superhot was an indie game that was made, I believe, in the FPS 7-day jam. It originally was made by a group of people across 7 days. It was so popular, they refined it into a indie game. And the whole gimmick of the game is you move, time moves. And it's a first-person shooter. So time slows way the fuck down. All these bullets just freeze in midair, and you got to plan your moves and stuff like that. It's badass. If you haven't played it, check it out. But people who had previously bought the original game got a pleasant surprise because the developer gave out Superhot Mind Control Delete for free if you bought it before July 16th of this year. Just straight up. Although,
That's not the news I thought you were going to bring.
No, because it gets better. Those people that got it for free, as well as anyone that played it that made it to the end,
Yeah, there it is.
they were they were surprised to find that they are now locked out of the game for 8 hours. You had to leave the game running for 8 hours while it recovered deleted files.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yes.
and if you exited out of the game early, you reset the timer, and you have to sit through the 8-hour recover file thing again.
They finally patched it out and dropped the timer down to 2.5 hours, but
Still too long.
the co-director said this: the arbitrary amount we shipped with was 8 hours, a perfect time to sleep on the game if you finished it. You can leave it running overnight, have a fresh mind to see the results in the morning. And they actually thought that was too lenient. They were considering 24 hours.
Yeah.
And they got so much backlash over that.
You literally cannot play the game after you beat it until you wait those, now 2.5 hours.
Wow. So
Doesn't matter what console, it doesn't matter what you're doing. 2.5 hours.
Has that ever happened before with the game? Why did they think that was a thing to do?
It's a troll move, man.
I mean, it kind of plays into the themes of the game, but without getting more into it, you got to
And
play
if you've
Superhot.
never played either of them, just get Mind Control Delete because it's absolutely 100 times better than the original, and it's great.
Really, Superhot is one of the most innovative games of the year. I highly recommend anyone plays it.
That sounded like you were paid to endorse that shit, Ethan. Like the way you
It's
said
one of the
that.
most innovative games of the year. It's one
He
of
starts to hold up the box.
You cut away to come back and he's decked out in super hot shirt.
Right,
Hat.
from top to bottom, dude. I literally
Bro.
thought we fell into an ad for a second because there was a pause afterwards. And I was like, people only do stuff because they're paid for it, man.
It's one of the most innovative shooters I've played in years.
All right,
Dude,
cool.
you got to play the game.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Like, it is an ad. It is a great game.
That was such a bad idea, but I see why they did it.
It's funny.
It was really funny, and it kind of reminded me of Undertale, how, like, at the final boss, you got stuck in that one fight until you beat it, period.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's probably what they were going for.
All right. There was a huge leak of Nintendo's data last week. A bunch of stuff came out. It was dubbed the Gigaleak by the community. About 2 gigabytes worth of data from Nintendo-related content was released, including code and assets from Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Nintendo 64 games, Mario, Mario Kart, Zelda, F-Zero, and the Pokemon series. I have a huge laundry list of what came out, but did you guys see this? Did you guys get a chance to see anything on it? First of all, a lot of people are like, it's not good that it came out. It's bad. As a person who likes emulation and also likes seeing this stuff, I appreciate it. How do you guys feel about the leak coming out?
Very much.
So everyone's on board. Fuck Nintendo. Let's see the shit. Okay.
I
bring it
thought
in.
it was cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the stuff. The big one is the L is real 2401, which is evidently Luigi was coded into Super Mario 64, and they've actually unleashed that code, and they're putting them in the game as we speak so they can release that. A lot of the betas came out with that, so there were unused enemies in there, sprites, things like that. Both Mario 64 and Zelda were the big ones. Star Fox 2, which was a game we didn't receive, until the Super Nintendo Mini came out. That game had a lot of characters that were taken out of it. There were actual human characters in Star Fox 2, which opens up a lot of interesting concepts. I mean, but if the Nintendo universe is connected, it doesn't really matter. And then there were actual prototype games that came out too. So the one video they showed, there's a game called Super Donkey that obviously became Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island eventually. But I mean, it's interesting. Every day they're getting into the code and they're finding more stuff. There was a bunch of Pokemon that were released that were beta versions of the Pokemon. Some of them I don't even believe were released. So people are having a blast going through it. But like I said, it is kind of controversial. I would like to see if they had it, some of the Virtual Boy stuff come out, because there were 2 specific games for the Virtual Boy that were never released, out of the 13 games that were released. But there was a prototype for Star Fox on the Virtual Boy, and there was also a prototype for Donkey Kong Country 2 on the Virtual Boy. I would love to get my hands on those someday.
I enjoyed the evolution of Yoshi. I don't know if you saw that thing where he started as this like lanky looking velociraptor and then turned into
real
little
derpy
cuddly.
looking. Yeah, I've actually seen that somewhere before, so I wasn't shocked by that. Whenever that came out, they just had more sprites, but I've seen that version of him before. But like everyone seems to really love that version of Yoshi. I think they went with the right one, being the cute, plump version of him.
Oh, for
But,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
the big one was the Luigi giving the middle finger. Did you see that?
No, what?
Hold on, let me pull it up and show it on the screen. Okay, let me know when you guys can see that. That's great, isn't it?
Pretty awesome.
Fuck you, Mario. This
That's
is
what I'm
my
saying, dude.
Super Luigi time.
That's great. Like, that makes me so happy. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be, but it looks like Luigi flipping off somebody, so I'm a fan of that. Was there anything else that you guys saw in the leak that you liked?
So massive. It was almost hard to keep track of it all.
Well, they're
There's a
still
lot to
going
sift
through a
through.
lot of it, and a lot of the sprites they're going through. The other big thing was like HD artwork from the time period too, and artwork that was not attached to like they have the box artwork, but it doesn't have all the Nintendo labeling in it. So now they can take that and upload that online. So there's a lot of that.
That's kind of cool. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there's a lot, and like I said, stuff is still being sifted through it. People are still going through the code and trying to see what they can figure out. And this is on top of the last leak that happened, like 4 or 5 months ago. So it's kind of cool that it came out, but once again, could cause Nintendo to force stricter, security, and especially when it comes to like keeping their content. Nintendo is very litigious when it comes to their stuff anyhow. So if they can sue somebody, they're going to find somebody to sue over this. All right, Jay, what you got next?
Well, I'll roll over what you said about Nintendo. Have y'all seen the ads for the Nintendo Lego set?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, it's something like 1,400 pieces, and apparently it's like pseudo playable after you put it all together. It's basically just kind of like a treadmill type thing, but you're literally building the game system and the TV, and it's going to cost like $230, but that's not going to be how much it costs. It's going to instantly sell out. It's going to go to the market. I predict it's going to be sold upwards of $500 to $700. It's same thing with like what's going on with the Switch. It's going to get ransacked. It's very novelty, but of course I want it. Like it's
the kind of novelty people are going to pay out of pocket for. Like they're going to shell out for that.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. As soon as you said that, I was like, I better buy one.
I've already snatched them up, man.
Ah, man, can you pre-order those already? Because I gotta go pre-order one. Yeah, they're badass. Will, you said you're getting one?
I'm not getting one, but I would like one.
Yeah. Ethan, you gonna get one?
I would like one, but I'm not getting one.
Jay, have you pre-ordered one?
I already have one.
What? he pulls it up and then he
Well
does his ad for it. It's like it's a good ad. Yeah, I definitely want one. I thought that looked really cool. I think that, like, you're right. It's going to be an awesome collector's item, and Nintendo is really good about making stuff people want and making it in scarce quantities.
Very
Also-
scarce.
Yeah.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, the one thing I've always said about Nintendo is I always felt like Nintendo was like the very last holdout from Lego. Can y'all think of any other Nintendo products that Lego's ever done before this?
Mario.
No, I don't think so. I think this is the first.
No, they did it just
Yeah.
like 3 months ago.
Yeah, Nintendo finally caved a couple months ago with a Mario
brand
Brothers
new.
set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying, though? Yeah, like they were the very last holdouts.
They really were.
Which is funny because they could have made such an amazing partnership for so many years. But like we had video games that were Lego, like all the different, Star Wars, Marvel, all that stuff. But we never had a Nintendo playset until now. It's kind of crazy.
The
What do
other
you think
thing
was
is-
holding them back from doing that, though? 'Cause
Well, they have a
it-
deal with Lego right now to make Super Mario Land in Japan. So that amusement park they're making in conjunction with Lego. So that's what the holdout was.
Mm.
But they've had deals with Mega Bloks before because the Pokemon Company, which is a subsidiary of Nintendo.
Shut your whore mouth with Mega Bloks.
I mean, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, does this mean we eventually get a Mario Lego game?
No.
It's very
You don't
meta.
think?
What you just said was very meta.
I mean, I would like to see that. I think
I
The
don't
furthest
think-
I could see him going is like maybe Lego Dimensions, if that was even still a thing.
I
But
forgot about that.
nah.
So who do I have to kill to get one of those Lego sets? Because I really want one.
Apparently Jay, he's got one.
All right, Jay, that's going to be a battle and a half. All right, but I'm coming over to get that thing.
That's good.
Will, what you got?
I got something that might pertain to you, David. This week on Japanese Twitter,
Oh,
because I'm always on that Japanese Twitter, Sony PSP battery started trending because apparently owners of the original PSP 1000 and the later Slim models are reportedly experiencing battery swelling, and they're going to start popping. So,
Yes!
I highly recommend is you go open up your PSP and make sure your battery looks normal, because things are starting to swell and will eventually pop.
That has actually happened to me already. I had a Star Wars edition PSP. I think it was a 3001 edition, maybe 2001. But yeah, that has happened. I've had to buy replacement batteries before because that's what they do. They pop. Yeah.
Why are you so excited about that, Ethan?
I lost my
hates them.
PSP 1000 that I bought with my own Christmas money years ago. I was on a trip in Chicago and some fucking maid stole it out of my bag in Chicago. So you know what? Fuck you and enjoy your fucking ticking time bomb and my Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Fuck you. It was a great game.
Damn, Ethan.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were so jaded.
Like,
it's terrifying, dude.
That was very angry.
I get it. Ethan, what you got?
Giancarlo Esposito will take on the role of the main antagonist, El Presidente Anton Castillo, in Far Cry 6. You might know him from Mandalorian, Breaking Bad, or for me, Payday 2. Gustavo Fring, Moff Gideon.
So Gustavo is playing the bad guy.
Gustavo's going to be El Presidente, dude. He's ruling over a fucking nation.
Is this in the live action? Is this the live action stuff, or is this the actual, just the voice acting on the game?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, they do motion capture.
Have you guys played Payday 2?
Ethan tried to make me play it once.
Yeah.
And, it's not for me.
Oh, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Jay, have you played it?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, dude, we got to get Jay on the heist. Basically, it's Ocean's 11, the game.
Okay,
dude,
cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Me and Ethan played it for 4 hours.
There's a game in the 90s called Bonanza Brothers, which is going to be pretty tough to beat.
I remember that.
You remember? I thought it was the coolest graphics ever. It was an arcade game.
Yeah. Was it a theft game?
Oh yeah, it's all you look it up. Bonanza Brothers. It was on Sega. It was an arcade game, but I think it was also on the Genesis.
I do remember this game. Yes, yeah, and it's so funny because we were playing Payday 2. I was like, why has no one ever done this before? But they have.
I would bet that I'd like it better now that I have a computer that can run it, because I think I was doing it on the PlayStation.
It's so much better on PC.
And that's
made for PC.
And
Is that a game that's specifically designed for PC?
For me, any first-person shooter should be on PC. It just feels better.
You can aim so much better too.
It's
more
a fun
accurate
game too. It's a lot of fun. I mean, playing it for the couple hours we played it, we went through a bank heist and then a plane heist, and there's all kinds of downloadable content associated with movies. Ethan went through it on the podcast we did about it, and the community is huge. It's the biggest hits we've ever had in a podcast on this channel. Is that podcast? People listen to it a lot.
People turn out for Payday.
People love Payday 2, and I am on board with that. So that is super exciting. When are they going to release that content?
What do you mean?
The DLC you just said. He's going to play the El Presidente.
That's not DLC. That's a brand new game.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's okay.
No, Far Cry 6. He's the main antagonist.
I thought you were talking about Payday 2.
He was the dentist in Payday 2. One of the evil contractors that you can.
Well, I totally got lost down a fucking Payday 2 fucking rabbit hole there.
His greatest role was the magic mirror in Once Upon a Time. But
I'm sorry.
What year?
Sorry.
Wait, time out. What year did that come out, Jay?
2011.
Once Upon a Time. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
his
about.
greatest role was on Community, but whatever.
We're not going to give him Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian?
He was Chevy Chase's brother.
I even went out of my way trying to find shit that y'all might know him from. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, they knew.
Joined in.
Yeah, they helped. All right. So, here's mine.
He's
Zelda.
bitter about his PSP.
My fucking PSP.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you get a chance, head over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And if you're enjoying the podcast today, please share with your friends. It's the only way we can grow this network. With that said, back to the podcast.
So, a fan game called Zelda The Missing Link was just released. It is a hack of the Nintendo 64 game Ocarina of Time. It is really fun. I played it for the last hour. Basically, it bridges the gap of the story from Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask. So it shows what happened in that opening scene in Majora's Mask where Link goes into the forest and loses Navi. And the game is actually that. It's meant to bridge that gap. So when you start the game, you start in Kokiri Village. And then as you go through, you end up there in the Lost Woods at the end. And it's only about an hour to an hour and a half long. And it's not really battle-based. It's a puzzle-based Zelda game. It's pretty cool. The music's really neat. They've added some graphics. They've added some gameplay mechanics. The biggest one being that the sword actually has, like in most of the early Zelda games, when you swipe the sword, if you had full energy, it would shoot out a beam. It does that. And it actually plays into the gameplay mechanics of it. I love Zelda. I know other people in this chat aren't such a big fan of it, but to see fans come together and actually create something new that actually adds to the storyline, I thought was pretty cool. So if you get a chance, it's called Zelda The Missing Link. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to patch the ROM, so just be prepared. You're going to need Zelda version 1.0, not 1.2 to do so, and you need the American version of it. So highly suggest people check that out.
Let me piggyback off of yours because one of mine has something very similar.
Okay.
So there is a Zelda-style fan remake, the old school top-down 2D, of Bloodborne.
Oh, wow.
The very incredibly hard Dark Souls-like game. It's called Yarntown. It's completely free right now and downloadable as far as however long, that'll actually last online. But yeah, I want to recommend it. I played through a little bit. It's fun. It's an old school game and it's crazy difficult, but I think you guys would dig it. It's called Yarntown.
And it's just a PC. It's not like Steam or anything that you just look up Yarntown and you'll find it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah, I'll definitely check
that wasn't
that
one
out.
of my news things, but
Nope.
it popped in my head when you talked about it.
It's freaking awesome. All right, Jay, you're up.
Speaking of games, I was looking into games that are.
Oh, good.
What
Going
else
back to
have
that
we
little topic.
It actually kind of ties into what we started off with G4. I forget the name of the show. It might have been, what was the two main shows y'all were talking about? Attack of the Show, and what was the other one?
X-Play.
X-Play. I think it was X-Play. They did a full walkthrough of this game back in the mid-2000s, and it literally just got re-released this week with a new version. Destroy All Humans.
Yeah.
Did anyone play that back in the day?
I did, yeah. I played the first one on Xbox quite a bit. It was a lot of fun. I don't know what to say. It's like Hitman, but you're an alien. You know what I mean? It's like GTA meets Hitman meets all the alien shit you'd ever want to do. So, including anal probes and mating with cows, I believe, at one point. Didn't you?
Taking over people's bodies, brainwashing them.
I mean, it is a fun game. You get to fly the UFO around. Thinking about it, it's kind of like, it's not an open sandbox game, but it kind of is. Yeah.
It actually reminds me a lot of Ratchet and Clank and the fact that you have so many different kinds of weapons and just you get to do a lot of different stuff. And it's one of those first games that I ever played where I was like, this game's a lot better than I think it really should be. So it was a real breath of fresh air. And I just remember, spoiler alert for the original, the main boss is the President of the United States. So I'm interested to see how that's going to reflect with today's modern political climate for the remake.
Do you think they'll do Trump? Do you think they'll put him in there?
I don't know. I don't see why not. I mean,
that'd be funny as shit.
That'd be amazing.
He's literally probably the most marketable president we've ever had. Literally, he was elected 2016. And I don't think I've gone a day without hearing his name like 20 or 30 times.
I know. He's been president for at least 50 years now, I think.
It feels like it.
Pretty much.
I think before him, maybe Bush was pretty marketable just because he was just always being made fun of. They had that show on Comedy Central. I could definitely see him going with Trump, especially with the whole wall thing and aliens. And you think about all the different stuff. I don't know.
And so is it a remake of the original game?
Oh, yeah, it's a remake.
It's a remake. Okay, so it is.
An updated version. It was coming out on PS4, Xbox. Came out on the 28th. But I was really excited to hear about it re-released. I'm surprised they remade it, but I'm glad they did. It's just of all the games to remake, I'm just surprised they did. Because considering it was so good the first time around, I didn't think it really needed it, but whatever.
Will, what you got?
Oh, it's me. So let's talk about Battle Royal games. So, brand new Battle Royal game came out about a week before it came out. It's called Rocket Arena. Have you heard about this one?
Is that the one with the ball and the
That's Rocket League.
Oh, okay.
That's Rocket League, yeah.
So what's
Rocket Arena is, essentially it's a Fortnite type game, but it's 3 versus 3. You run around, each of your characters all have rockets, and each character has a different type of rocket. I was one of the lucky ones. I got to get into the early access beta and enjoy this game for a little bit. It's okay. But the issue is that I realized as I was playing it that they charge $40 to purchase this Battle Royale game at release. Well, less than 2 weeks later, that game is now down to $5 at almost every store you can go to.
Ooh.
Oh, like no one was fucking buying it, so they just
No, because it's Fortnite. Like, why would you pay? And plus, they have a battle pass just like Fortnite that you also have to pay an additional $10 for. So you pay $40 for a should be free to play game, and then you have to pay more to get in on their little battle pass seasons or whatever.
Right.
But no one's interested, and I knew that it was going to tank. I was like, this game's going to go nowhere. Let's not waste our time even doing stuff on it. And look at that. Now they're begging people to join. It'll be free to play in a month, I guarantee you.
Yeah. I mean, how do you break into that market? Fortnite is so fucking huge. Like,
oh, there's a ton of great battle royale games, and they are all free. That's the thing, is you can get in and play for free. But if you want to get the cosmetics and the extra stuff, that costs money. Because Valorant is huge, Apex Legend is huge. Like, all these are really big, popular games, but they're all free. You can just play them, and you don't need all this extra stuff. But the fact that they're trying to push the exact same kind of game out for $40 is just proving why EA is one of the worst money-grabbing companies there is.
And it seems like they would understand how to do it because they started out doing it pretty good. But then once you got to the loot crates and all that shit, it just seems like they just went downhill with that. But it's a different market now. And like you said, my girlfriend plays a bunch of free games, and she's always telling me, like, just don't play it because you'll want to spend money on it. I was like, do you spend money on it? She's like, sometimes, but I have a rule. If I spend this much money, I put that much money in the savings. But she does play a lot of the free-to-play games, especially the cross-platform. And I think that's the big part of it. If it's cross-platform, PC, console, and phone, that's where the gaming sector is right now. And you need to create games that go across all those, especially if you're going to do DLC payable stuff.
The issue you're going to run into with that, though, dude, is you're not going to find a single game that people will play across phone, console, computer. Console and computer,
phone
maybe.
Throws it. Yeah, the phone throws it.
People play Fortnite on their phone, don't they?
Yeah, but...
most people are going to play console or computer.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, she plays a lot of those weird RPGs, those, like, obscure ones. I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on. All these anime chicks running around freaks me out.
Freaks you out.
I mean, I like it. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that what you kids are calling it these days?
It's a total freak out, baby.
Freaks me out.
I thought you'd read between the lines, baby. All right. Ethan, what you got?
Thank goodness there's yet another game that has ditched de novo DRM. They purged it from its code.
I thought that was gone.
No. De novo's still around and
Yeah.
thriving, dude. For those that don't know what it is, it's a DRM service to keep people from pirating their games, and there's a fuck ton of games out there that use that. The only issue is it's been very heavily criticized for impacting players' frame rate as well as game stability across the board.
Yeah, it's the weirdest gatekeeper ever because people hate it. It usually gets cracked anyhow, but it is it is the premier guard, isn't it? Like that.
Pretty much.
But I thought about 2 years ago it went downhill. But no, you're saying it's stronger than ever.
Well, yeah. Arcane Studios' Prey, which they dropped back in 2016, no longer has de novo DRM on it. Unfortunately, there's still a bunch of other really huge games that still have it. Doom Eternal, Borderlands 3, Mortal Kombat 11, Death Stranding, and God forbid, Persona 4 Golden.
Oh.
Dude, you don't need it. DRM is fine, but get something that doesn't fucking break your game. Please. I want to be able to play my game and not have it kill my computer. I want to be able to play it at a decent speed and not worry about it crashing. Please.
What is the other alternative, though, to protecting your intellectual property? I mean, if that is the premier way to do it, people are going to have to use it.
Different software, a different framework, just not this one. It doesn't work. Please.
Yeah, I thought it was dead already. That's why I was confused by that. Huh. I mean, with everything moving to free to play, do we see games doing that, or do you think we're going to continue to have? Because people, like I said, this is the premier way to guard your game, so people are going to continue to use it, even though there are glitches in it.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like it's getting any better. De novo's been around for a while now, and there's more and more games using it. Dude, this is going to be a problem, man. Yeah. But I'm glad that Arcane was like, you know what? Fine. You don't need it. Don't worry about it. It's gone. Forget about it. Enjoy freaking out over the coffee cup that's definitely not a mimic.
What's that mean?
You got to play Prey, man. Play Superhot, play Prey.
It's okay. Play Superhot.
I loved Prey. It was good.
All right. Grounded is already a hit on Steam. The experimental survival game from Obsidian Entertainment has already shot up the Steam charts. Will, you got early access, right?
I did. I've been playing it for the last few hours. I'm waiting to get off this call so I can go play it again.
Guys, have you seen this game?
No, when you said Obsidian, though, like, I'm on board. Let's go.
Go watch the trailer, first of all, because the trailer is hilarious. Because basically they go from the makers of games that are nothing like this fucking game.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
the one with the little
hilarious.
kids running around with
It's
ants
Honey,
and
I
shit.
Shrunk the Kids in a video game form, but they are building, because you can build, like, is it kind of like Minecraft then? Like, you can build your own stuff, or is it just battling?
It's more like a Rust where you're doing base building.
That's what
I
it looked
wouldn't-
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So your
you
base
gather
building,
a lot of resources, you build your base up, you protect yourself, you fight ants, spiders, mites, like also the spiders are legit scary in that game. Like every time I go on a little quest or adventure or whatever, I at least once will get like I'll shake my mouse so much because the spider like just sneaks up on you. Like it's ridiculous.
Dude, I'm terrified. Just watching the trailer, like you can get eaten by the spider, and that scared the fuck out of me. And then I got the heebie-jeebies because I hate spiders, so I feel them crawling all over me and stuff.
Yeah.
But
They do have a arachnophobia mode that you can turn on, and it basically there's levels to it where you break it down into its polygons so it doesn't look as scary. It eventually becomes a floating orb.
Okay.
Oh God! Oh, that's amazing because it is terrifying. But I asked Will because I had to. I was like, "Do you have an extra code for this?" Because it's $30, and it is a beta build. Is that right of the game? It was
Early
free
access.
It was free for
they're
2
gonna
weeks.
they're gonna keep doing a bunch of story additions and new stuff, but yeah, it's definitely in beta. You could tell that it's not fleshed out yet.
And for 2 weeks, it was free. I missed that mark. I didn't even know about the game until today. It had
I didn't know that
it
at
had
all.
a 24-hour access to it, but after that, it shut down. That was the demo that they put out. I really want to play it. I'm thinking about dropping the money to play it because it looks like
you know
fun.
what? Instead of doing that, you have a Windows PC, correct?
Yeah.
It's on the Windows Game Pass. Windows Game Pass
nice.
is $5 a month, and they have a ton of games you can just download for free. It's
Done.
well worth it. Like the new Minecraft Dungeons came out that way. Like there's so much stuff on there. But they
Nice.
dropped that today. So yeah, spend $5 instead and get access to a ton of other games.
Fuck yeah, done and done. And then is it online? Can we play?
Yeah,
Or-
we can multiplayer. You can have your own little world together.
Oh,
Up to
that's
4,
so
I think.
cool.
That's
so cool.
badass.
Do you recommend the game, Will?
100%. Oh, I cannot wait to see what else they do with it. It's fun and it's cute, and I'm a big fan of that Honey I Shrunk the Kids sort of world. Not necessarily that movie, but just the shrinking of things. I like that. Walking around and finding like a juice box and then being able to drink from the juice box to replenish your health or
The
whatever.
action figures is what got me that I thought was so cool. Like they had like a Battletoads action figure in there, and I was like, why do they have a battle? What? This isn't a rare game, is it? But the other thing is, on that note, they're making a Honey I Shrunk the Kids TV show remake for Disney Plus too, I believe. So that's going to be kind of cool.
And Rick Moranis is going to be on it.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's a sequel series, I believe. Check out that game. I want to jump into my last one real quick, too, because it kind of plays into this. There is a game that you can actually go play the demo for called Metamorphosis. It is inspired by the Kafka short story about a man becoming a bug in the bug city that he lives in. Go download this demo. It's all 10 minutes. It is Alice in Wonderland trippy as fuck. It's called Metamorphosis. I cannot wait for this game to come out. Don't want to spoil it for you guys. Is it okay if I do that for the podcast?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I
You
just
begin
downloaded it. So
You begin as a man and a room. He's hungover, much like Duck is right now. That's why he's drinking coffee. And you go through these tunnels, and by the end of the demo, you are no longer a man, and the way the game plays is so fucking unique and fun. And I highly suggest you take 10 minutes out of your day, download this demo on Steam, and go play it. That's all I'm going to say. You will not regret it.
nice.
Or watch the trailer. The trailer is really cool too, and the demo and the trailer are like two different things. So I can't wait to see what they come up with this game. It's kind of like Bugs Life meets 1984. That's the way I'm going to put it. So very excited about this game. All right, Jay, what you got?
Well, this one's a very, very, very personal one. It's got nothing to do with new gaming, but I do have news. Very good news. Since our last meeting, I have finally acquired a Switch.
Oh shit!
Yay. What games did you get?
Yes, sir. Well
I'm
done.
playing Luigi's Mansion 3 and Civilization, so those are pretty fun. I'm gonna definitely look into playing it more, just because it's really good on the go. I got that Satisfy grip, but I got to tell y'all the story of how I acquired it.
Yeah,
It was so.
he beat
I don't know
up
if you
a
guys
kid.
remember me saying, like, I refuse to pay these scalper prices. I
Yes.
was very adamant that I refused to do it, and I don't know why. I just like I gotta find a way to make it right. And I went on Mercari, and this guy was like selling a Switch for $300, so everybody is of course jumping on it. And he's like, "I'm not actually selling a Switch. I'm telling you how I got a Switch without having to pay these ridiculous prices." Because I don't know if you go on Amazon, they go for like $500-$600 now. They're like literally double. And I was like, And this one guy goes, "This is how I did it." He went on Best Buy and he literally refreshed his screen 200 times. And on the 200th time, he was able to buy it. But other than that, it constantly says sold out, sold out, sold out online. But there's a way to trick it. That didn't work for me. I went to Target.com and I waited for them, and it was like 8 in the morning, and I was like, okay. And it says like, what they did is they said that there were stores that had it in stock, but you couldn't reserve a copy, which was ridiculous. Then I finally found a store where I could do it, and I was like, all right, great. And it turned out it was Bryan, Texas. So that's like 4 hours away from me in Carrollton. And I'm like, okay, that's just 8 hours. That's fine. Just an 8-hour round trip. So I was like, I'm ready to do it. Then I find out that it's not Bryan, Texas. It was Bryan, Arkansas.
What?
So now we're looking at about a 10-hour round trip. And I'm like, it was like the beginning of work. It was work during the day. So I was like, all right, cool. I was psyching myself up all day. All right, Jay, you're going to do it. As soon as you get out here, you're heading straight to Arkansas. We're doing it. Even though I'd be spending way more money in gas. I didn't care. It's principle. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, after I paid for it, Target sends me another email going, your item's no longer available.
What?
So I was sad.
At least you weren't driving. At least you weren't like 3
Oh,
hours
he could have
deep
been.
into
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So anyway, that night, it was like 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, I'll try again, Target. And I was looking, and I couldn't find these stores that let me reserve it. Then I found one, and it did let me reserve it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure when I wake up, I'll get a shitty email. So I'd already been heartbroken once, so I was okay doing it again. But turns out they had it reserved for me, and it was the Target in Frisco. So it was like a
Nice.
Nice. Yes.
Well,
hour round
epic.
trip.
Epic. Very nice.
I was like, I was real nervous leaving the Target. I was like, I'm gonna get mugged.
Dude, I thought you were going to say you beat up somebody to get it. Like, you were like, I beat the fuck out of a 12-year-old. And I got it, bitch. That's awesome, though,
That'd
man.
make a really
Yeah, but
cool
she was
trip.
talking shit, so she.
Yeah, she was like, you can't play no civilizations. Jay, you got to get Mario Odyssey. Number one. That game is literally like playing a Pixar game. It's so much fucking fun. Zelda Breath of the Wild, be prepared to lose half your fucking life to that
He
game.
doesn't like Zelda.
Oh, that's right. But you know what? It's like Skyrim, so it'll be fine if you like Skyrim. And then also Pokemon
Skyrim.
Sword and Shield. I will say, give them a try if you like Pokemon. They are a lot of fun too. But those are my recommendations. I don't have a Switch, but I want one. But I'm going to
Mario
recommend
Kart, Animal Crossing. You got to
Yeah,
get the
dude.
staples, man.
Yeah, dude. Enjoy it. You are one of the
Smash.
lucky few who has one, so enjoy the fuck out of it.
Smash Brothers, dude. You got to get the Smash
Fuck.
Bros.
I'm over Smash. I'm
Yeah,
over it.
but dude, the Animal Crossing, Austin McDonald told me it's his favorite game of all time.
A lot of people do. Will loves
Damn.
it too. He's a huge
Yeah.
fan of that game.
Yeah, but like all time though.
Yeah, he's
Really?
number one all time.
Yeah.
There's a version of it for GameCube that goes for like $100. But I wonder, like, what's the appeal of that one? Because there's no online play.
It's a collector's item.
It
Plain
is.
and simple.
Yeah.
It's hard
Yeah.
to find.
You got to remember, the original Animal Crossing came out in the Nintendo 64 in Japan. We ended up getting that converted to GameCube eventually, but I never jumped on that train. I just don't like simulators, but like Will loves Harvest Moon, Animal
Stardew
Crossing,
Valley is where
all
it's
that
at.
stuff.
Stardew's great.
I know a lot of people that are very loyal to Stardew Valley. Very loyal.
Yeah.
There's no reason to play Harvest Moon or any of that stuff anymore since Stardew Valley exists.
Yeah.
Plus the guy's story behind Stardew Valley and his whole development cycle and just his story of how he made that game is amazing.
Will, do you have any more stuff?
Sure, I got one more. So, big surprise drop, I believe it was yesterday, is Cuphead came out on PS4.
It sure did.
About damn time.
Surprise!
Interesting
My
too.
PS4 was broken when I saw it. I'm like, why is my Xbox showing up on this TV? It's not even plugged up.
That's
I really
fucking
thought
fun.
I was like, oh,
They've
there
been waiting a long time, and announced today, the studio behind Cuphead said they will be bringing Xbox some exclusive extra stuff just because of this, I think, because they've dropped the exclusivity. So now Xbox will still get some new content that PS4 will not have.
It was never exclusive to Xbox. It was on PC.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
well,
originally.
Yeah.
Xbox and PC are essentially the same thing nowadays. It's
Yeah,
Windows.
and then there is a Switch version of it that came out 2 years after the initial release. I thought that Microsoft owned a stake in that company or something. That's why there wasn't a PS4. But I guess I was wrong because it was interesting to see it drop, and the drop trailer was kind of cool too. It's a stop motion animated trailer with a song. It's kind of cool. It reminds me of like a 90s ad, because in the 90s we had weird fucking ads for some reason. They thought like we liked gross, creepy, weird shit. New Metal was weird. It affected everything.
Tool, man.
Yeah, I mean,
was very Tool.
But it's kind of cool trailer, and I mean, Cuphead's the shit. Y'all need to go play that. Like, if you haven't played Cuphead yet, this is your...
Have you beaten it?
Oh, yeah, bro. I did a review for the arcade machine that was up at Black Dog, remember?
Did you beat it at the arcade?
No, fuck no. That would be nice. I don't think you can, dude. Like, that, it's... I mean, maybe, but no. I beat it on my PC, man. But I'll tell you what, playing it 2 players makes it harder, too. I don't know. I don't like that.
I'd agree.
Get Mugman out of there. I don't need him. But that game is worth your fucking time.
I'm a Mugman Mark, dude. But I've always been a second player Mark.
Can you play that online, 2-player? Through
know.
Steam? No?
I don't think so.
But I always choose Mugman when you play single player.
Cuphead's the shit. When are they going to make a sequel to it? I mean, I know that game took forever to make anyhow, but like, I would love to play another version of that.
It's a small studio that made it. I think it's not a very big company that made it.
2 brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're millionaires. Like, we need to come up with some Cuphead shit, like, right now. But yeah, super exciting for PS4. Download it again, because you probably got an Xbox and you probably got a PS4. Ethan, what you got?
What'd y'all think of Halo Infinite?
Weird.
It was weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It looks like Fortnite.
It didn't look like Halo, man.
It doesn't look like Halo at all. And we're not the only ones to feel that way. How about you guys? Did you see the trailers for it?
Well, I mean, here's the deal. Halo came out basically 20 years ago. All franchises, I think, eventually evolve into something you won't like. I was talking on Facebook a week or so ago, but I just started playing Persona 5.
Yes!
And, like, I gotta be honest, Ethan, like, the soundtrack is everything you said it was and more.
It's so fucking good!
But, yeah, I think I was going to say Persona is probably one of the few, like, I guess, franchises that didn't have that happen. But you could go through almost any franchise and find a dud.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, like, Halo, I mean, yeah, I think it's just the way of the dodo. I mean, first-person shooters, I mean, there's only so many ways you can reinvent them.
What is it exactly that you guys are disappointed about? Is it simply graphics?
So the main complaints right now, from what I've kind of gathered from online, is it is not graphically impressive at all. And my take on that is it looks way too clean for a gritty space warfare game. There's no scratches and scrapes on Chief's armor. It looks very colorful, very playful.
It looks like
almost
Fortnite.
like...
Dude, it looks like Fortnite.
It looks like Fortnite, but then there's also a lot of very similar comparisons people are making to Destiny 2 specifically. The main bad guy that they showed in the trailer looks almost identical to the main bad guy when Destiny 2 dropped. Gaul, who was taking over the Traveler and the Light. And it seems like they're just starting to copy things over from Bungie. The whole open world idea, open-ish, where you go do missions around the world to level up and upgrade your Spartan. And it's very cut and paste. Since Bungie's not doing it anymore, let's just kind of copy and paste what Bungie's doing now without Bungie.
No, that's fair enough. As far as the graphics go, they've come out and they've said, this is an early look at it.
Yeah.
They're not done. And I'm going to say, as a non-Halo fan, I played the first one. I played, I think, Reach, and I enjoyed those 2. That's about it. I don't care. But this one, I want to play this. It looks more fun.
The gameplay looked cool.
I like the grappling hook. I like the Doom-esque like melee that they were showing off. And I just think it looks like a better game. And the fact that it's open world is probably one of the smartest things they could do.
Yes.
Because they're focusing on the single player. And I think that's where I lost Halo, is when Halo was just like, okay, here's the story, but look at all the multiplayer, you know what I mean?
Geez.
And I feel like this one, they're starting to come back to like, hey, we have a big story and a big world that you can check out and enjoy. That's my opinion on it anyway.
Y'all think multiplayer is dying to some extent?
No, they're going to be showing off the multiplayer within, I think, a week. They have a whole new Xbox showcase just for the multiplayer part of it in a couple weeks.
Which they need to do something, honestly, in my humble opinion, and I've been out of Halo for, I think, the last, 2 games. They need to do something very similar to Reach, where you go into games, you get credits, you can purchase armors like that. No loadouts, no nothing like that. That's not Halo. You find your guns in the level. That's not Halo. Again,
it seems so
more
hard, though.
Doom, less Call of Duty.
There's just so many multiplayer first-person shooters. There's a finite number of players. They're spreading them out to all these different games. I don't know. I just don't see Halo, unless they really blow the multiplayer out of the water, I don't see them gaining much traction.
Something that Halo's really always shined at, though, was definitely multiplayer, but also Forge mode. And hopefully they'll bring that back with a vengeance, because in Reach it was amazing. Oh my god. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of putting together these horrible, horrible maps that none of my friends would ever play. So much fun.
Adventure. It's the journey.
Yeah, I remember jumping into Forge World with my buddies. We'd say, okay, you got 10 minutes to build a base, and then we're just going to start going at it. Oh, it was so much fun. I don't know. We'll see. Infinite Halo, infinite possibilities, I guess.
Right on. Does anyone else have anything else?
New Dead by Daylight content.
What's the new one?
They just opened up a new rift, so there's a new battle pass essentially, and then tombs, so more challenges and stuff.
Dude,
did they
Pyramid Head, though?
Who did they bring into the game? What was the DLC that you couldn't talk about last time, Will?
Oh, it was Pyramid Head.
It was
Pyramid Head. Silent Hill stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and the Silent Hills. All right,
dude, you were right. He was a game changer.
Yeah, he plays
holy
incredible.
Shit.
Is he ridiculously OP too?
No, I wouldn't say so. He's can
He's
alter
powerful.
the map. So he uses his giant sword and creates these rifts throughout the map. And if you run through them, you become tormented, which, kind of gives you away a little bit. And also he can immediately kill you if he gets you down. So it made people have to sneak through those things, because if you crouch and sneak through it, you don't become tormented. So it really kind of had to alter the way survivors played. They had to...
He had more map control.
Yeah, he had a lot of map control. They have to pay more attention. They have to do things a little slower. But yeah, he's cool. He's very cool. And then there's another one coming out in a little bit. Another big licensed character.
You can't say who it is? Oh, it must feel so good to be on the inside. That's freaking awesome.
I would just be screaming the whole time, going, "Oh, what a fucking job!"
It would be perfect for Dead by Daylight. It would be Pinhead.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's one of the biggest rumor ones. Everyone wants him, yeah.
Well,
so it's Pinhead, is what you're saying, Will? Is that?
No.
You're like, legally,
So you're saying it's not Pinhead?
Yeah, wink,
I'm
wink.
not saying anything.
Do me a favor, put on a T-shirt with the guy's face, so they won't be able to see it, and then we'll know. And then we'll say,
charades.
Yes, we'll charades it out. All right. Other than that, I think we pretty much did everything. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. This is Duck. I've been here with
Dr. E.
and Mr. William Cennamo.
Dr. E.
He calls himself Dr. E, dude. It's great.
Duck
I started
calling me that.
Bitch, you never went to doctor school.
And
You're
Jay.
damn right.
Oh, damn straight. And Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
And I got to remind you guys this. Ethan, you do it. I don't want to call people bitches.
There's one thing you got to remember. You both know it well. You ain't Billy Mitchell, bitch.
Ain't Billy Mitchell, bitch.
Just stop trying.
Just stop trying. I know Will hates it every time. The worst part was I did an interview with this guy. It was the only Bagu Ethan's not on. The interview went great, and at the end, I'm like, I got to remind you something. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, you ain't Billy Mitchell, bitch. You were so nice for doing the interview. Thank you. I felt like such a dick. I felt like such a dick, dude. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's the tagline. I didn't mean anything by it.
And there it is. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you have enjoyed it, please do not forget, share with your friends. That is how we grow the network. And if this is your first time listening, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes, and give We Are Podcast a like. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcast here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Error, where we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, that's Javi. We're breaking down pop culture, and we're having a blast. Don't forget Heroes Gyros, a Dungeons and Distraction side quest. Me and the boys were sitting down, we're playing some D&D. We're having so much fun. You can go and start that from the beginning of the journey, Season 1, Episode 1. You're going to love it all the way through. And finally, I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I'm going to sit down with some of the most epic people I've ever met in this world, and we're going to talk about their life, we're going to talk about their trials and tribulations, and we're just going to talk about their journey this far. Head on over to our social media. All links can be found in the description. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. Also, head over to the Facebook group, We Are Era. We would love to see you in that group. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed the podcast today, share it with your friends. That's the only way we can grow this network. But with that said, I have to remind you, I can never let you forget this. You ain't Billy Mitchell, bitch. So stop trying. We'll see you next time.